Greetings. This is Melanie with Insight Frames again. We've got something fun this week. I had a reading that was in person, and so we didn't record it, but I wanted to go over the question that was asked and get that out there because it was an interesting question and one that's probably applicable to a lot of different people watching this. So here it is. So we had laid out all the cards, and this person had chosen these cards. So it was these four, and I'm going to show you which ones they are. There's 54 cards in the deck, and they're shuffled, all added at random. There's some great looking cards, and you never know what's going to come up. So let's talk about this one. So this person's question was, how can I start to move forward with this business idea that I have? It just kind of seemed stuck. They just kept like mulling it over and over and wanted to really like move forward with more confidence. So here's the cards that they chose. So in the person position at the top, they had chosen Recycle Bin, which is a very interesting card. And I'm going to turn this. Okay. For the unconscious position, they had chosen the Hub card. For the conscious position, which is things that you're talking about, emailing, writing, discussing, having meetings, there was the Variable card. And in the action position was the Map card. So we laid these out like this and thought again about the question. How can I start moving forward better with this business idea that I have instead of just hashing it over in my mind endlessly? So what we do is we lay them out in these positions, and then we start from the top and read a little bit about each one is. So we got the Recycle Bin page, and here's what I read. The recycle bin is a place where we discard things that still have a recognizable worth. So think about the recycle bin on your computer or at your house. You don't just throw it in the trash, things that you have. You put them in the recycle bin with the hope or the expectation that whatever you had is going to be reused for good. This is the recycle bin. Here's the card. Very beautiful card. And you can see that there's a direction to this card. So the person position means this is what this person, their state, their as is condition right now, equal sign. This person is a recycle bin. So you can see that the bad stuff that you're discarding comes in. Broken hearts, burned out light bulbs, locks, unhappy faces. So that goes into the green recycle bin and it gets chewed up and reconstituted. And even if your recycle bin on your computer is encrypted, it still gets things that are chewed up and it turns it into something else. It's not just data, it turns it into something else. So what comes out after you process yourself in the recycle bin, what comes out is usually something that looks kind of the same, but is in a better position to help you or to benefit your life, to benefit mankind. So what you see in this card is that broken things come out as diamond, discarded, dead leaves come out as good leaves, happy faces, new thoughts, light bulbs that are turned on, and whole hearts. So in this person's life, I said, you are now getting rid of all the things that are no longer useful for you, and you're sending them on their way with the hope that it's going to come back to you. And you're going to have those lessons, the things that you distill from all that stuff that happened, that it's either bad or you don't need anymore. So that's in the person position. In the unconscious position, they had chosen the hub card. The hub is a very interesting card because, as you see on it, there's a lot of different people or things or situations that are all holding on to the central thing. So there's a robot arm, there's DNA, there's electricity, that there's cables, that there's biological things, animal life. So here's what the hub is unconsciously. So the unconscious position is what the person is thinking about, but maybe not saying, what they are, their hopes, their dreams, their fears, what's going on, but it's not coming out of their mouth. So the hub card, a hub is a point of convergence. It's a feature that bears weight and helps others stay in motion while not deforming under the pressure of its role. Hubs are communities, advocacy, internet hubs, airline hubs. They're all things where things like come in and they change and accommodate a lot of different people and the pressures of moving things from one place to another. The hub card also illustrates shared responsibility for each other. You may feel needed when you are the only hand guiding a problem. So while this role may use your strengths, it can leave you feel hollowed out and resentful. So let others feel needed. So unconsciously, this person was feeling the pressure of having to keep everything in motion while they were making this pretty big life-altering decision. So they were feeling the pressure from all these different areas to keep things moving. Now, unconsciously, they really were feeling the pressure that they wanted things to move on. But there was also the pressure of having to juggle everything while making this big life decision. The conscious card was the variable card. This is a very interesting card. If you know anything about software at all, a variable is a thing that is created once but used many times. Everybody's gotten the form letter from an insurance company or from anybody that says, "Dear," and your name is there. So your name in the code, in the background, is a variable. They can use it to say, "Dear person," or they can say, "Because your name is whatever." So it's something that's created once in the database, but used many different times in many different ways. They could write a check to you with that variable. So the variable card has artwork that, with an example of artifacts made by human intellect, an aircraft engine in the background, and a child's kite. We build things that give us the illusion of control over the most powerful dynamic force, the air. We need change. We need variability. But once that change is removed, sometimes things collapse. So when this card appears in a frame, you may be noticing recurring events, the winds of change that are blowing through, and your intuition says, yeah, this is part of the answer. The other thing about the variable card, especially in the conscious position here, is that it points to your core strengths, things that you have built up over time. And it says that maybe you are indecisive, that you are procrastinating, and that you need to keep things going up in the air because it disconnects you from the problem. It kind of feels good to keep things up in the air so that you don't really have to make those kind of strong and fearful decisions about what's going on. So it points in two different directions. Your core strengths that you can do one time. Let's say that you know how to do carpentry or you know how to do software coding. You can use that in healthcare or journalism or in a foreign country or in this country. So once you have that skill, you can use it in many different ways to improve your life, to get work, to help other people's lives. But then it also points to once you do have that core skill and you have it floating out there, that you need to either keep that going or make a decision of when everything is going to come back down to the ground. And the book says here, in the conscious position, the variable card indicates that you feel these changes strongly and may be struggling to get control of your emotions. And this person, when I was given the reading, is like, yes, my emotions are literally up in the air and keeping me not making a decision. So they were struggling to get control, just like the person with this kite, struggling to get control of all the variables in their life and their core strength to move forward. So let's move on to the map card. This is in the action position. A map is a story about a place. And that place could be in your mind, it could be in your hopes, it could be a very real place. And this is one of the cards with the physical force to it. And a map card is a useful concept in a lot of different fields of work. There's family trees, there's DNA maps, there's historical timeline, star charts, strategy. So that in the action position, the book says the physical force of the map card comes through. In your answer, it may involve travel, physical discovery, or stopping old patterns and navigating new ones. So this person was trying to map out their forward progress. They felt like everything was really up in the air and they were trying to get it moved forward. They were feeling the pressure of doing this forward motion, mapping out what they wanted to do and getting it physically going in place. But then they were feeling the pressure also. This is a physical card. It actually has a tree rings on it to not move forward because of other pressures that weren't coming from them. And then remember the recycle bin. This was a person that was, just like this book says, reshaping things. And physical discovery, stopping old patterns and navigating new ones. So the person card and the action card are like completely and perfectly in sync. So what you do when you come up with a full frame like this is you can bring it back to the question. How can I start thinking about my business problem and what I want to be doing so that I can take just one step forward and start it moving? That's the action card here. It doesn't mean to do the full set of actions to do whatever you want to do. It means one step, just one tiny step forward can sometimes get you unstuck. So what their takeaway from this is that yes, I'm going through this period of dissolving all the old patterns and moving forward, getting rid of things, getting back to my core self. Yes, I feel the pressures unconsciously, but maybe I'm just one person in this whole situation of my life. maybe I should just back off and let other people bear some of the load of the situation. I do have this core strength, but I'm letting it kind of control me. I'm struggling to get control of my core strength. And I just need to accept it and keep moving forward. So, what they decided for their action is that they were literally going to go back home and draw a map of where they wanted to go. Are they here in the lake of fire right now? Are they lost in the forest? Are they up on the mountaintop looking down from that kind of a view? Are they standing at the shore and looking out? Where are they on this? And starting from here or here or here, map out just a little bit of where you want to go. Because here's the thing about a map: maps aren't the full blueprint of your whole life. Maps always have edges. So if you're going along this road, what happens when you come up here? You have to make a new map. It's not the whole blueprint. It's just enough to get you moving forward to where you want to go. Now, if this person wanted to go from home up to the mountaintop and back up and get a different view, well, yeah, that's a short journey. But trust yourself. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to know exactly where you're going. Like the action position here, you just take one step forward and then see how it works for you. That was the reading for this week. Thanks very much. Go to insight-frames.com. You can order a set for yourself. You can read the book, or you can contact me and get a free reading for yourself. Thanks.